onto your butts.
Here we go!
This is Camp Clash. Brace yourselves, warriors, because rising from the ashes of poor decisions and misplaced ambition, the only builder who thinks structurally sound is a suggestion and tasteful is a curse word. Prepare to witness chaos disguised as creativity. And remember, someone's got to explain the physics to him. Let the nonsense begin. It's Buddha too dope.
Welcome back, warriors, to Camp Clash, the monthly Fallout 76 competition where perfectly sane people spend 14 hours placing a single lamp. Out in Appalachia, danger lurks everywhere. Super mutants, scorched beasts, and somehow budget limits. But none of that stops our brave builders from creating things no one asked for but everyone secretly loves. Floating mansions, suspiciously cozy murder basements, diners with zero health code compliance, and houses somehow balanced on one staircase. Each month, contestants take a fresh theme and push the camp system far beyond what Bethesda probably intended, all in pursuit of glory, bragging rights, and the chance to hear someone say, "Wait, how did you even place that there?" Tonight, we tour the best builds, admire the madness, and pretend we're not immediately stealing half these ideas for our own camps. So grab your popcorn, ignore the radiation, and prepare for architectural nonsense at its absolute finest. This is Camp Clash, where creativity thrives, physics cries, and the budget is always full.
And now, entering the judging zone with the observational skills of a Brotherhood scribe and the mercy of a Deathclaw with a grudge. If there's a crooked wall, a mismatched floor tile, or a light placed 1 inch too low, trust me, he will find it. Known across the Wasteland for being painfully thorough, terrifyingly sharp-eyed, and somehow able to spot missing symmetry from 3 fast travel points away, no detail escapes this builder's gaze. Some call it perfectionism, others call it emotional damage. From theme consistency to clutter placement, from structural flow to whether your furniture choices make any actual sense, this judge judges with the kind of brutal honesty that has sent many proud builders quietly back to their shelters for a redesign. So warriors, brace yourselves, double-check your corners, and pray your roof pieces snapped correctly. Because nobody survives sloppy building when Player George is judging.
Now that Player George is locked in, eyes narrowed, and almost certainly already judging the loading screen, it's officially time to begin. The builds are ready, the contestants are nervous, and somewhere out there, at least one person is realizing they forgot to finish the backside of their house. From absurd creativity to questionable design decisions defended as part of the theme, we're about to tour the finest, weirdest, and most dangerously placed camps this month has to offer. So, settle in, keep your excuses ready, and let the Camp Clash showcases begin.
Bold words from someone whose camp still looks like a starter shack.
At least mine obeys the laws of physics.
Physics is just jealousy with rules.
Your last build was a haunted porta potty on stilts.
And it got more visitors than your boring log cabin.
Because people thought it was a public event.
Good. Maybe this month they'll mistake yours for useful.
Ouch. Savage move. Now let's see whose disaster wins.
Alistair Seis has built something special.
Ladies and gentlemen, warriors of Appalachia, gather round because we are about to witness a camp that might just make you question your life choices. That's right, Alistair Seis has graced us with his humble little cabin. At first glance, oh, you might think, oh yeah, it's just another run-of-the-mill cabin, cute, nothing too crazy. I've seen worse in the back alleys of Vault 76. But don't be fooled, my friends. Don't be fooled. Take the roofs, for example. At first you think, oh, a roof. That's nice. But then you notice how each panel aligns perfectly. Like the architectural gods themselves whispered guidance into Alistair's ear. There's symmetry here that would make even a Brotherhood of Steel engineer raise an eyebrow and maybe shed a single suspicious tear. And let's talk about the kitchen. Oh, the kitchen, I swear, I don't know if I'm looking at a Fallout 76 camp or an actual Michelin-rated culinary studio. Pots, pans, stoves perfectly aligned, countertops polished, chef's kiss, truly. You half expect a synth to emerge and start cooking a 5-course meal for dog meat, and that's just the start. Because as you wander through the cabin, you start noticing all the small things. The little trinkets, the subtle lighting, the furniture placement that somehow makes a broken Wasteland trailer look sophisticated. Seriously, the attention to detail is insane. Every corner tells a story. Every rug placement is a choice. And yes, I said rug placement. Don't roll your eyes. Rug placement is an art form, and Alistair Seis is Picasso. Some of you might be sitting there thinking, it's just a cabin. How much can one cabin really do? Oh, sweet summer child, how little you know, because the thing about this cabin is that it's like a Russian nesting doll of perfection. The more you look, the more details emerge. You see, there's strategy behind every beam, every support post, every suspiciously decorative crate. You could spend a solid hour staring at this camp and still discover something new. And not in a, oh, that's kind of neat way. No. In a what the hell? How did they even think of that way? But here's the kicker, the thing that really makes this cabin stand out. It's charming without trying too hard. You might walk in and think, just a cabin. But then a small detail hits you. A cleverly placed lantern, a cozy reading nook, a hidden stash cleverly disguised as a decorative crate. And suddenly you're like, okay, maybe this guy is dangerous, because we all know in Fallout 76, someone this meticulous with details is probably also meticulous with traps. I'd watch my step if I were you, and here's the thing about great builds like this. It forces you to confront your own life choices. Like, why did I ever think my metal shack with 3 broken chairs and a bucket stove was impressive? Why did I ever believe that just throwing some scrap in a circle counted as a camp? Meanwhile, Alistair Seis is out here casually redefining cabin aesthetics and making the rest of us look like we're trying to survive a rad roach infestation with, well, incompetence. Whether you're a hardcore Fallout builder, a casual wanderer, or someone who just likes to sneak into other people's camps and steal their loot, you've got to stop and appreciate this. Every roof, every kitchen, every rug, and every hidden corner is evidence that yes, someone in this wasteland still cares about details. And if that doesn't impress you, well, I'm sorry, but you probably also clap politely at IKEA furniture. In conclusion, Alistair Seis, you magnificent human or whatever you are, this cabin isn't just a build, it's a statement. It's a testament to creativity, patience, and a mild obsession with perfection. And for anyone else out there thinking they can compete, let me just say this. Good luck, really, because you're going to need it.
Giddy up, partner, it's Moonlight Cowboy.
Alright survivors, strap in because today we're taking a look at something truly audacious. Somewhere in the murky, swampy expanse of the mire, atop the ruins of Tanagra Town, sits a camp that isn't just built, it's asserted. At first glance you might think, oh, another camp in the swamp. Probably a couple of barrels and a broken shack, maybe a mutant or two for decoration. But no, this is something else entirely. First of all, the location itself deserves a slow clap. Building a camp on top of an existing location in Fallout 76 is always a gamble. You're walking the line between creative genius and catastrophic dumpster fire. Miss one merge, misalign one roof, and suddenly you've got a cabin teetering on a hill while a bloodbug plots its revenge. But here, every single merge is flawless. The builder clearly spent hours or maybe days ensuring that every beam, every wall, every scrap of wood seamlessly interacts with the ruins below. It's precision, it's planning, and yes, it's borderline witchcraft. And then there's the theme. Classical Moonlight Cowboy style. I mean, just say it out loud. Moonlight Cowboy style. There's something simultaneously romantic and slightly terrifying about that. It conjures images of a wandering gunslinger pausing to admire a campfire, a soft glow reflecting off a carefully positioned saddle, a whiskey bottle precariously balanced on a barrel. The builder didn't just choose a theme, they committed to it like a post-apocalyptic artist on a mission. Lighting, naturally, is a huge part of that atmosphere. This isn't your casual flickering lantern setup. No. The lighting here is intentional, cinematic, and honestly, a little unfair. Each lamp, each torch, each glow of moonlight has been positioned to highlight exactly the right details to create mood without overwhelming the senses. Step into this camp at night and you're transported. You can almost hear the distant strum of a banjo, smell the wood smoke in the air, and for a moment, forget that the mire is filled with radiation, mutant insects, and the occasional wandering deathclaw. But what really sets this camp apart is the level of detail. It's not just on theme, it's perfect on theme. Props are carefully placed, decorations tell a story, and every surface is utilized in a way that screams, I thought about this. You notice little touches everywhere. The barrels, the crates, the fencing that somehow doesn't block your path but frames the environment like a painting. You start thinking, did someone actually walk around here and plan this? Or is this the result of pure divine intervention? And then comes the realization, this camp isn't just a standalone creation. It's interacting with the ruins beneath it, transforming an existing location into something new while respecting what was already there. That's a delicate balance. Too much interference and you destroy the original charm. Too little and it feels like lazily dumping your camp on top of a map. But here, it's symbiotic. The camp and the location enhance one another. Every merge, every architectural choice, every decorative flourish feels intentional, and the end result is almost unfairly good. So yes, overall, this camp is a masterclass in themed building, creative courage, and careful attention to detail. Classical Moonlight Cowboy style executed flawlessly in a uniquely challenging location, with merges, lighting, and decoration that elevate the entire experience. It's the kind of camp that makes you stop, take a screenshot, and maybe even reconsider your own life choices for a moment. Because somehow, someone managed to make a swamp look sophisticated. Well done! Truly, this camp isn't just a place to set up a stash and relax, it's a statement, a showpiece, and a reminder that even in the wasteland, creativity knows no bounds. Hats off to the builder. This is what mastery looks like, and what the rest of us should probably aspire to, or at least admire from a safe distance.
Come watch an original camp by Sep One.
survivors, wanderers, and anyone foolish enough to think they can just throw a few walls together in Fallout 76, stop right where you are. Because what we have here is not just a camp, it's an experience. Sep One has crafted something that honestly made me pause and almost forget that the Wasteland exists. Almost. At first glance, you might just see a camp in the middle of the Mojave-esque expanses of the Wasteland and think, sure, looks fine. But don't be fooled. This isn't just a handful of walls, a workbench, and a stash box. No, this is a carefully curated desert oasis, and I say that with full intention. The moment you approach it, there's a sense of tranquility, like stepping into a mirage that actually delivers. You know, the kind of peacefulness you never thought existed in Appalachia or the Mire, or anywhere in this gloriously chaotic wasteland. And that feeling of peace, let me tell you, it's subtle. It doesn't hit you like a ton of scrap metal falling on your head. No, it sneaks up on you. You take it all in, and suddenly you feel this rare sense of calm. And in a world full of blood bugs, scorched beasts, and irradiated geckos, that sense of calm is practically illegal. Seriously, I half expected Deathclaw to show up just to remind me this is Fallout and we can't all be zen. But it's not just the vibe that makes this camp stand out. Oh no, the clever merges and placement, those little details that most builders either ignore or accidentally break, bind the entire camp together. It's as if every wall, every planter, every decorative element was placed with intention, not just slapped down because the workbench told you to. You start noticing subtle interactions between props, the way the structures integrate with the terrain, the flow from one area to the next. And you think, okay, this is someone who actually cares about cohesion, which, let's be honest, is more than I can say for half the camps I wander into. And let's talk about aesthetics, because, oh, this is gorgeous. The desert palette, the muted sunlight, the shadows falling just right. It's cinematic without being pretentious. It's relaxing without being boring. And it's sophisticated without screaming, look at me, I'm art. Somehow, Sep One managed to thread that needle perfectly, giving us a camp that feels alive and welcoming at the same time. You could sit there with a Nuka-Cola, stare at it for 15 minutes, and still notice details you didn't see before. Every plant, every decorative touch, every little alignment just works together. Honestly, this is the kind of build that makes the rest of us feel guilty about our slapdash creations. You wander through your own camp and think, did I even try? Meanwhile, Sep One is out here creating a space that makes you question the meaning of peace, calm, and maybe even your own life choices. And yet, it still fits perfectly in the Fallout universe. It's post-apocalyptic, it's survival-ready, and yet it somehow whispers, breathe, take a moment, which is a rare gift in a world that actively wants to murder you every 2 steps. So, in summary, clever merges, seamless placement, thematic consistency, and an overall aura of peace that is frankly shocking for Appalachia or the Mire, or wherever the desert wastelands of Fallout 76 may be. Sep One, you have not just built a camp, you've built an experience, a rare, tranquil oasis in a chaotic world full of monsters, radiation, and poorly stacked junk. Neatly done, Sep, really. This is a camp that lingers in your mind, makes you pause, and perhaps even inspires a little envy. But mostly, it reminds you that yes, sometimes in this wasteland, peace still exists. And if you ask me, that's a remarkable achievement.
The Akiraas got shit done.
Alright survivors, brace yourselves, because what we're about to see isn't just a camp, it's a masterclass in making the Wasteland look cooler than it has any right to. The Akiraas have once again cracked the code on how to make awesome camps. Seriously, if there were a secret manual for Fallout 76 camp design, it would probably just say, Step 1, copy the Akiraas. From the moment you step into this build, you realize you're not just wandering into any old post-apocalyptic dump. No, this is something entirely different. Their signature style, Wasteland grit meets cyber neon punk, is on full display, and it's so immersive that you might not even notice whether it was crafted by Bethesda themselves or by some overly ambitious world championship winning team of camp builders. And let's be honest, the line between genius and lunacy has never looked this good. Now let's talk about those custom touches, specifically the custom TV light post. Yes, you heard me right. A TV light post in Fallout 76. I don't know how it works. I don't want to know how it works, but somehow it does, and it's spectacular. That little detail alone is a microcosm of everything the Akiraas do. Clever, stylish, a little chaotic, and 100% intentional. Every prop, every light, every angle feels like it was meticulously placed to shock and delight anyone walking by. And speaking of placement, let's not overlook the merges. Every single one is executed with the kind of precision that makes you question your life choices. Like, were they born with a ruler and a straight edge? Or did they just spend years mastering the physics engine until it bent to their will? Because seriously, every merge, every connection, every surface feels like it was handcrafted by neon-infused perfectionists. You don't just notice these details, you feel them. The overall effect is dazzling. It's bright without being overwhelming, futuristic without losing that post-apocalyptic edge, and chaotic without tipping into hot mess territory. That's classic Akira style, bold, confident, and unrelentingly on point. There's a rhythm to the camp, a flow that guides you from one corner to the next, all while making you think, how the hell did they even think of that? And here's the kicker. Even though it's flashy and neon drenched, it doesn't feel out of place in the Wasteland. Somehow, the Akiraas have managed to take a desolate, irradiated world and make it feel like a bustling cyberpunk metropolis in the middle of Appalachia. It's like blending two totally different genres into a single, coherent masterpiece. And they've done it effortlessly. Every detail, every choice, every glow of neon says one thing. These people understand building. Not just in the technical sense, but in the artistic, immersive, make the player stop, stare, and maybe take a screenshot sense. And they do it consistently. You wander through, and it all just clicks. The TV light post becomes a statement piece. The lighting becomes a mood setter. The merges become invisible threads holding the chaos together. It's genius wrapped in scrap metal, neon, and ambition. So, overall impression, the Akiraas didn't just build a camp. They defined what a camp can be in Fallout 76. Cyber neon punk, meticulous merges, custom touches that make you gasp, and a style so recognizable that if you see it, you instantly know, yep, that's Akira. Every time. It's bold, it's brilliant, and it's unapologetically awesome. Well done, Akiraas. Truly, this camp doesn't just exist in the Wasteland, it dominates it. And if you're anyone else trying to compete, let's just say, good luck. Because you're up against perfection, neon style.
Let's salute Coffee King.
put down that Nuka-Cola, step away from your workbench, and take a moment to appreciate the wonder that is Coffee King's camp. Honestly, this one hit me hard. And I mean really hit me, like getting smacked across the face with a newspaper in a world where blood bugs apparently have excellent aim. The first moment you set eyes on this camp, you know you're not in Kansas, or Appalachia for that matter. It smacks you square in the senses. The design, the atmosphere, the sheer audacity, all of it comes together like some kind of post-apocalyptic symphony. And yes, I use the word symphony deliberately because that's exactly what it feels like when someone knows what they're doing and also enjoys making the rest of us look like we just shoved some scrap into a circle and called it a day. Now let's talk about that first impression, that initial hit that makes your brain go, wait, what is happening? It's like walking into a diner, ordering a Nuka-Cola, and realizing the chef somehow balanced fine dining with radioactive flair. That's Coffee King's magic. The way the lighting is set up, the way different elements merge together. It's subtle, but it's also bold. It's the difference between a camp that says, I tried, and one that says, I exist, I conquer, and I also probably have a spare stash of legendary weapons hidden somewhere. And those merges, the way different structures, props, and decorative elements blend seamlessly into one another, it's the kind of thing that makes you pause, squint, and go, how did they even think of that? It's like the camp version of Photoshop magic, but somehow less illegal and slightly more dangerous if you get too close to a minefield. The overall effect? Stunning, immediately captivating. I won't lie, my first reaction was a mix of admiration, jealousy, and mild panic. Because let's face it, when someone else can build something that grabs your attention, holds it, and keeps surprising you as you explore it, it's equal parts inspiring and demoralizing. You're inspired because you want to do better. You're demoralized because you know you will fail miserably in comparison. Coffee King didn't just build a camp. No, they created an experience. Walking through it, you're hit with little touches that feel deliberate, thoughtful, and, okay, I'll say it, slightly intimidating. There's a level of polish here that makes you want to apologize to the world for your own camp in advance. Everything seems intentional. The spacing, the orientation, the choice of lighting, the clever placement of objects that make your brain say, ah, yes, this makes sense. And also, wow, I would have never thought of that. And here's the kicker. The first impression is so strong, it's almost unfair. It's like being punched in the face by perfection while a blood bug tries to suck out your soul. You want to linger and examine every corner, every nook, every lovingly arranged detail. But also, there's a tiny voice in your head going, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy. And you know that's exactly the reaction Coffee King was hoping for. Subtlety, skill, mild terror, all rolled into one. So, in conclusion, Coffee King, you got me good. This camp doesn't just exist. It commands attention. The first impression hits like a ton of scrap metal with style. The lighting and merges sell every moment. And the overall design, absolute perfection for a post-apocalyptic setting. For those of us wandering the wasteland, it's a reminder that someone out there knows exactly what they're doing. Well done, Coffee King. Truly, you've created a camp that not only impresses but lingers in your brain long after you leave. A masterclass in first impressions, overall design, and subtle chaos wrapped in beauty. I salute you. And also, I'm filing this away as a new personal standard that I will inevitably fail to reach.
Remember these builders because they rock. Six Samurai. Atomic Pixel Dust. Slug the Frog. Dirty Disco. Terminus.
Well, survivors, there you have it. A parade of chaos, creativity, and questionable life choices masquerading as camps. We've seen floating mansions, haunted porta potties, desert oases, cyberpunk nightmares, and yes, a camp or two that might actually be haunted. Probably by the ghosts of builders past. Honestly, I need a shower just from looking at some of these. Some of these builds make you think, wow, I didn't know physics could bend like that. Others make you think, wait, is this supposed to be functional? Or did they just give up and declare it art? And then there are the ones that are so good, so insanely detailed, that you're simultaneously inspired and suspicious that the builder might be cheating, or possibly a minor deity of scrap and glow lights. It's been a wild ride through every corner of Appalachia, the Mire, and every questionable decision in between. We've applauded, we've gasped, and let's be honest, we've all silently judged someone for stacking their fridge on top of a workbench. But that's the magic of Camp Clash, where brilliance and madness collide, and sometimes someone's fridge becomes an architectural statement. So, as we take a breath before revealing who actually wins this month, remember, it's not just about the builds. It's about the experience, the chaos, the tiny little details that make you stop and think, how is this even possible? And maybe, just maybe, it's about laughing at the rest of us who tried and failed spectacularly. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, hold on to your scrap, and prepare yourselves, because the winner is about to be revealed. And I promise, whoever it is, they've earned the right to make the rest of us feel mildly inadequate.
This month's winner is Sep One.
Well, Warriors, the moment has arrived. After chaos, creativity, and enough questionable architectural choices to make a blood bug blush, the winner of this month's Camp Clash is Sep One. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate what just happened. Sep One didn't just build a camp. They created a desert oasis in a radioactive wasteland. Tranquil, relaxing, perfectly merged, flawlessly placed. Basically a place where you could sip Nuka-Cola and almost forget that everything around you is trying to kill you. And let's be honest, that's a rare talent in this world. Most of us can barely stack a few walls without the entire thing collapsing in slow motion. So congratulations, Sep One. You've officially made the rest of us look like amateurs with our half-finished shacks, and creatively questionable lamp placements. You've proven that even in the apocalypse, peace, style, and maybe a little bit of sanity can exist, though I suspect most of us will still be hiding from bloodbugs while secretly crying inside. And with that, dear viewers, that's a wrap for this episode of Camp Clash. We've laughed, we've gasped, we've judged far too many suspiciously crooked camps, and most importantly, we've witnessed some truly unforgettable builds. Until next month, keep building, keep surviving, and try not to accidentally put a bathtub on your roof. Trust me, it's harder than it looks.
If you had fun, don't forget to join our Discord. Link is in the description, so you can be part of the next competition. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future events, builds, and whatever chaos we decide to host next.